Young and the Restless Spoilers reveal the tension and death race of Phyllis and Sharon Newman. When Phyllis Summers and Sharon Newman are trapped in a dangerous situation, the tension between the two women reaches its peak. Their relationship has always been full of conflicts and confrontations, but in this situation, everything changes when Phyllis is suddenly poisoned. While Phyllis struggles with the excruciating pain caused by the poison, Sharon is forced to face an important decision: to find an antidote and save Phyllis or not. Right from the first scenes, the audience has witnessed a tense confrontation between Phyllis and Sharon. While Phyllis shows a strong nature and constantly tries to save herself, Sharon is cautious and somewhat weak in this tense situation. Before everything happened, Sharon had always been suspicious of Phyllis and did not completely trust her. But now, with Phyllis's life in danger, Sharon could not let personal animosity overwhelm her. Phyllis, while in custody, tried to maintain her composure and control of the situation, but her health gradually deteriorated. The pain from the poison had caused her to bend over and struggle. For Sharon, it was an opportunity not to be missed to show her resilience and determination to save Phyllis even though she did not like her. The race against time had begun. Phyllis's pain and Sharon's decision. Phyllis was in terrible pain. Every movement she made was excruciating, and her endurance was almost at its limit. Meanwhile, Sharon stood by her side, looking at her with worried eyes. The heated argument between the two had shifted to a completely different dimension. Now, they were no longer two enemies but people fighting for survival. Phyllis begins to do some light exercises to keep her body relaxed, although it does not stop the pain that is taking over her body. Sharon, meanwhile, decides to write down her last wishes. Feeling helpless and afraid of the future, she wants to leave something for her family if she cannot escape this situation. It is an emotional moment, as both women realize that neither of them will survive this situation. Race against time, Sharon finds antidote. A voice from a sound system informs Sharon that she must quickly find the antidote or Phyllis will not survive. Sharon, although still hesitant about the danger, realizes that Phyllis's life now depends entirely on her. She has no time to hesitate any longer. The race against time has begun. Sharon immediately dives into the search, putting all her energy and concentration into finding a solution. While Sharon searches for the antidote, the moments of breathlessness make the situation even more tense. Every step Sharon takes seems to carry hope, but also an invisible fear. Will she be able to find the antidote, or is it just a plot to lead Phyllis to her death? Every action, every decision Sharon makes now affects not only her own life, but also Phyllis's survival. Will the antidote really save or lead to a tragic end? Finally, Sharon finds what she thinks is the antidote. But is it really the antidote or something hidden, intended to end Phyllis's life? This uncertainty adds to the drama of the story. Will Sharon choose to drink it and save Phyllis, or will she not dare to do it because she fears it is an evil plot? Phyllis, meanwhile, continues to suffer. Fear overwhelms her every thought as she wonders if Sharon will be able to save her in time. Every passing moment is like a heavy blow to her spirit. The complicated love story between Sharon and Phyllis. Although Phyllis's life is hanging by a thread, the relationship between her and Sharon cannot be resolved easily. The arguments continue, even in this dangerous situation. Their every word is filled with tension and frustration. The conflicts are never completely resolved, and in this moment, they are no longer enemies as before, but women forced to fight together to survive. When Sharon finally decides to use the antidote, she not only saves Phyllis, but also takes a step forward in healing the deep wounds in the relationship between these two women. However, the story does not end there. Will forgiveness come after this life or death situation, or will the tension between Sharon and Phyllis flare up again? Will they overcome new challenges together, or will this story end in heartbreaking tragedy? The strange story of Phyllis and Sharon, dramatic kidnapping and widespread investigation. In a shocking twist to the young and the restless, Phyllis Summers and Sharon Newman are kidnapped and held captive in a dangerous old hospital. The story is not only a dramatic fight for survival, but also opens up many questions about who is behind the attack and the secrets Phyllis and Sharon are facing. Although the plot is somewhat strange and full of surprises, The couple Stafford and Sharon Case do a great job of portraying the complex emotions and relationships in this harsh situation. Kidnapped in the Dark, The Old Path by Ian Ward. When Phyllis and Sharon wake up in captivity, neither of them can understand why they were kidnapped. The dark, stuffy room of the old hospital seems designed to make it impossible for them to find a way out. However, one of the big questions on fans' minds is, who is behind this kidnapping? Ian Ward, a character who has caused a lot of trouble in the past, is a likely candidate for the role of this unknown attacker. Ian's extensive knowledge of Phyllis and Sharon's lives, as well as the stories surrounding them, makes him the prime suspect. It is certain that Ian not only has personal motives but also has a deep understanding of the relationships within Genoa City's upper class, especially with Sharon and Phyllis. Awkward relationships and life and death moments. Although neither Phyllis nor Sharon are close friends, in this dire situation, they are forced to work together to find a way to escape the kidnapper. They know that if they cannot work together, their chances of survival are almost zero. The past conflicts between Sharon and Phyllis seem to be temporarily put aside as they face life-or-death challenges. Phyllis, known for her strong and determined personality, quickly becomes the leader in the escape plan. However, Sharon, although physically weaker, is not lacking in intelligence and sharpness in assessing the situation. The two must rely on each other to find a solution in this dark scene. Every action they take, no matter how small, can determine their survival. Race against time, escape or salvation? Time continues to pass, and both Phyllis and Sharon feel their fear growing as each minute passes without any sign of rescue. Every small sound in the hospital seems to make them more and more nervous, and both cannot help but worry about their safety. Sharon keeps looking toward the door, hoping that someone will come and rescue them from this situation. Meanwhile, Phyllis can't stop thinking about the relationships out there, people who might be looking for her. The situation becomes more and more tense as fans gradually realize that Phyllis and Sharon's lives are not just a matter of personal survival. They are also participating in a game of intrigue set by an unknown attacker. Every step Phyllis and Sharon take in this hospital could be a fatal mistake. Summer, Kyle, and Chance Chancellor. The next story as Phyllis and Sharon's situation comes to a head, other characters in the world of the young and the restless begin to have their own reactions. One of the most interesting side stories is that Summer Newman, Phyllis's daughter, is now facing the reality that her mother may never return. With the complicated relationship between Summer, Kyle Abbott, and Chance Chancellor, who is investigating Phyllis and Sharon's kidnapping, their relationship is put to the test. Summer, despite her feelings for Kyle, still maintains a close relationship with Chance. She knows that if she can cooperate with Chance in investigating the case, she will have a chance to find out who did this. However, Summer's feelings for Kyle always prevail in her heart, and she cannot help but feel uncertain about her future. Will the connection between Summer and Kyle grow stronger after Phyllis and Sharon are rescued, or will she face a difficult choice when her feelings are divided between the two important men in her life? This story promises to be full of surprises, as each decision Summer makes can change not only her relationship but also the outcome of Phyllis and Sharon. After a tough and tense battle, Phyllis and Sharon will find a way out of this dangerous situation. However, the story does not end there. When they are rescued, the relationships between the characters will never be the same. Overlapping relationships, pent-up emotions, and unrevealed secrets will create a challenging life ahead for all the characters involved. With Chance's investigation, Summer and Kyle's relationship will undergo many challenges, and Phyllis and Sharon's story will continue to spread to other relationships, creating a chain of unpredictable events. The unexpected plot twists will surely leave fans surprised and looking forward to each next episode. When Phyllis Summer suddenly leaves Genoa City without an explanation, the unusualness of this situation causes a lot of anxiety, especially for her daughter, Summer Newman. Not only does this raise many questions about Phyllis's strange behavior, it also creates a complex series of relationships surrounding Summer, Kyle Abbott, and Claire. Unresolved emotions, unclear situations, and important decisions are intertwined, creating a dramatic and emotional story. Phyllis, the strange disappearance and Summer's concern. It all begins when Phyllis suddenly disappears, leaving no trace except a brief text message, with no explanation of why she left. What's even more strange is that Phyllis only communicates through a disposable phone, leaving everyone in her family and friends wondering, what is she doing? Why did she have to leave town without warning? Is this the action of someone with a secret plan or just trying to temporarily get away from everything? Summer, who has always considered her mother the center of her life, immediately feels worried. She couldn't understand the reason behind Phyllis's actions and felt more and more uneasy. Her mother's love was one of the most important things in Summer's life, and Phyllis's sudden disappearance without any explanation made her worried about her mother's safety. Kyle and his special concern for Summer as Summer's best friend, Kyle Abbott couldn't ignore her worries. Despite the conflicts and complications in their relationship, Kyle couldn't help but feel responsible for helping Summer in this difficult time. He saw the worry in Summer's eyes and understood that she couldn't face everything alone. So he offered to help her, not only as a friend but also as someone she could trust to deal with this difficult situation. Kyle, despite being in a relationship with Summer, is clearly aware of the unresolved feelings Summer still has for him. His caring gestures are not just a show of support, but a sign of a deeper concern that the two shared in the past. Kyle may have moved on with his life, but he can't deny that he still has special feelings for Summer, and current events have only made him more aware of that. Claire. Feeling caught between two worlds while Kyle and Summer are increasingly caught in this complicated relationship, Claire, Kyle's current lover, is caught in the middle. As Claire's first relationship, she can't help but feel uneasy when she sees the seemingly lingering interest between Summer and Kyle. Claire is aware that Summer still has feelings for Kyle and may be hoping for some sort of return, although she isn't sure about it. Claire tries to keep her cool in this situation. However, her lack of confidence in her first relationship makes her feel uncomfortable. She can't help but feel threatened when she sees signs that Kyle's feelings for Summer are not completely gone. This makes Claire wonder if she can keep this relationship going while facing the unknown competition from a woman with whom Kyle has a deep emotional past. Meanwhile, Kyle, despite loving Claire, can't completely ignore his unresolved feelings for Summer. He realizes that Summer still misses him and may be looking for a chance to get back together. Kyle doesn't want to hurt Claire, but he can't control his deep feelings either. His relationship with Claire begins to face challenges that neither of them could have foreseen. As Summer finds more clues about Phyllis's disappearance, things begin to make more sense. While she can't fully understand why Phyllis is acting the way she is, she slowly realizes that her mother may be being stalked or involved in a dangerous situation. The relationship between Summer, Kyle, and Claire becomes even more strained as Summer continues to search for information about Phyllis while also dealing with her own concerns about whether Kyle still has feelings for her. However, along the way, Claire realizes that her relationship with Kyle cannot survive without complete trust. The unresolved feelings between Kyle and Summer make it impossible for Claire to not doubt her future with him. This leads to a confrontation between Claire and Kyle, where she demands that he make a clear decision between Summer and her. The story revolves not only around Phyllis's mysterious disappearance, but also the internal struggles of the main characters. Summer, despite her worries about her mother, also has to deal with complicated feelings about her relationship with Kyle. Kyle, despite having feelings for Claire, cannot deny his unresolved feelings for Summer. And Claire, in her role as Kyle's girlfriend, has to face the fact that she may not be the only one in his heart. Ultimately, the relationships of all three will face a major turning point. Summer will have to decide whether she continues to place her hopes on a relationship with Kyle, while Claire will have to decide whether her relationship with Kyle can survive all of this turmoil. Phyllis, although not appearing directly, is still the key character that changes everything. The mysterious attack and the complicated relationship, Phyllis, Sharon, and the drama in the world of secrets and intrigue on the young and the restless. It's no surprise that Phyllis Summers and Sharon Newman find themselves in a life-or-death situation. An old hospital, an unknown kidnapper, and the appearance of a suspicious figure like Ian Ward create a strange, complicated, and surprising picture. Although the story is somewhat bizarre, there's no denying that, under the talented performance of the couple Stafford and Sharon Case, it all becomes a dramatic, profound, and emotional work. The nightmare begins. Phyllis and Sharon take. It all begins when Phyllis and Sharon are kidnapped and held in an old hospital. This is no accident, but part of a carefully calculated plan by the mastermind, whose identity remains unknown. In the darkness of the hospital, amid the rotting walls and cold air, Phyllis and Sharon realize that they are not only facing the threat of a kidnapper, but also of secrets from their own pasts. They themselves seem to have become pawns in a game whose rules none of them understand. Ian Ward, the mastermind behind the events. Although the attacker has not yet been revealed, Ian Ward, Ray Wise, one of the most mysterious and scheming characters on The Young and the Restless, is a likely candidate. Ian has formed many complex and secretive relationships with various characters over the years. Ian's deep knowledge of Phyllis and Sharon's lives and the events surrounding them makes him a character with clear motives. Ian is not a simple man. He is capable of calculating and controlling situations without leaving any trace. It is Ian's complexity in relationships and motives that makes him a formidable attacker. The sudden coordination between Phyllis and Sharon. Phyllis and Sharon were not close friends. They had a tumultuous history, from personal conflicts to battles for the attention of the men in their lives. However, in this urgent situation, they had no time to deal with personal issues. Both knew that if they did not cooperate, their chances of survival would be zero. Phyllis, known for her strength and ability to control any situation, quickly came up with strategies to find a way out of the current situation. Sharon, with her quick and sharp thinking, plays a key role in finding clues that will help them escape the old hospital. As the danger becomes more apparent, Phyllis and Sharon are faced with a life-or-death decision. They must find a way out of their captivity or face death. Every step, every decision they make must be carefully calculated. They both know that they cannot rely on waiting for someone to come to their rescue. They must save themselves. Although there is always tension between the two, in the moment of life and death, they overcome their personal differences to work together and find a way to escape the kidnapper's grasp. The race against time becomes even more intense when they discover that not all clues lead to salvation. The clues may be traps, and deciding who they can trust becomes a matter of life and death. Phyllis and Sharon quickly realize that the attacker, possibly Ian, has been leaving false clues to test them. Summer and Kyle, love, anxiety, and resolving relationships. While Phyllis and Sharon fight to survive, Phyllis's daughter, Summer Newman, begins to experience her own turmoil outside of the home. Summer, who is very close to her mother and worried about her safety, can't stop thinking about Phyllis's mysterious disappearance. She senses that something is wrong and is forced to confront unanswered questions. This anxiety leads Summer to seek comfort and support from her close friend Kyle Abbott. However, Kyle's presence complicates his relationship with Summer. Although Kyle is a devoted friend and willing to help Summer, their relationship is not simple. Summer still has feelings for Kyle, and her coming to him in this difficult situation only makes those unresolved feelings more apparent. But can Kyle acknowledge his feelings for Summer without hurting his current girlfriend, Claire? Subscribe to YNR for the latest updates on our channel.